Alright, so I did my presentation on the reform and development of Chinese education. So first off, I have a video on the reform.
Now from New York, she's the founder of the Children's Cooperation Center. Education, I think we can all agree, in any country, it can really determine the future of your child and what direction they go in. So it's really important to get it right. Talk to me about the steps that China is taking to try and deal with this inequality in education.
Thank you, Mike, for having me. I think you just talked about with this Zhang family, China's education inequality actually exists not only within a city, but also exists between coastal province and in the country provinces. But let's take Shanghai as an example, which kind of like mirror the situation in Beijing. The inequality, the government try to attack that problem with many different approaches. And one of the approach actually is to create branch schools, try to bring the quality schools teachers and the curriculum as well as management team to, let's say, area that previously don't have as many quality schools, that to a certain extent will balance the quality inequality among different areas in the same city.
I imagine it's...
Alright, and then after that, I was just going to talk about the history a little bit. The reform mainly started in 1985 when compulsory education was implemented for children up until the age of 15. So from ages 6 to about 15, they would attend 6 years of primary school and 3 years of secondary school. All that would be mandatory. They abolished some tax-funded higher education, so their higher education would be more open to the people and less confined to just like the higher percentile. Chinese education really started at the birth of the country, with only nobles and people higher up in the government being able to get an education, like in most countries around the world. Over time, the system changed when biases and racism, sexism died down. Currently, they have the largest education system in the world and run a 9-year compulsory education system. I have another video that just ties all this together.
What's the education system like in China? Chinese children over 6 years old are allowed to enter primary school. After 6 years education here, they spend 3 years in junior middle school. This 9-year education they receive is called National Compulsory Education, which requires all school-age children to be educated free of charge. Following compulsory education, Chinese students will sit their first important lifetime test, the Senior High School Entrance Examination, Zhongkao. Based on the results and personal choices, 87% of students step into senior secondary education, and 57% go to regular senior secondary schools to gain cultural and scientific knowledge, while 43% enter secondary vocational schools to be trained with skills for employment. In most provinces, those who enter regular schools will be divided into classes focused on social sciences, Chinese, English, mathematics, politics, history, and geography, or natural sciences, Chinese, English, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology. Whichever one they choose decides what they will be tested on during the college entrance examination, Gaokao, their second important exam. The total point of the examination is 750. In fact, there are 6 foreign languages that can be chosen. English is the most popular. Whether students enter the university they prefer depends on their final scores and the enrollment mark of the university. Therefore, Gaokao is greatly significant to Chinese. That's why most senior students in high school work hard to prepare for the examination under huge pressure. However, China has implemented historic education system reform. Gaokao will adopt a 3+3 model. All subjects require higher level Chinese, especially in traditional Chinese culture. Chinese education points to comprehensive personal development oriented education. Gaokao tends to select examinees on the basis of majors. What's the education system like in China?
Okay. In 2003, central and local governments in China supported 1,552 institutions of higher learning, along with 725,000 professors and 11 million students. Currently, over 100 national key universities, including Peking University and Tsinghua University, which are considered to be part of an elite group of Chinese universities. Chinese investment in research, some of the results. Investment in research development has grown by 20% per year since 1999, exceeding $100 billion in 2011, and as many as 1.5 million science and engineering students graduated from Chinese universities in 2006. In 2008, China had published about 185,000 papers in recognized international journals, a sevenfold increase from 1996. Some of the key points are the reform started in the 1980s and has been going on ever since. Started with only nobles being educated, but slowly moved to include all residents of the country. Currently the largest education system in the world. There are currently over 100 education facilities and 11 million students. And the new education system is currently boasting many great results. And that's it. Thank you.